Waking up with a stiff neck, an aching back, or hips that seem to protest the very act of getting out of bed. It's a feeling many of us over 50 know all too well. We often chalk it up to sleeping wrong or just the inevitable aches of getting older. But what if the solution was about buying an expensive new mattress or resigning yourself to a life of morning groans? What if a significant part of the fix is as simple as how you position your body in sleep, a wisdom that has been passed down for over 1,000 years in traditional Chinese medicine? The truth is that nagging morning stiffness might just be your body's way of telling you it needs a little more support. The fix might be as simple as how you sleep into one. Zoro minus year minus old traditional Chinese medicine practice agrees. Here's why placing a pillow between your knees could be the game minus changer your body needs. It's a small adjustment that can lead to profound relief, helping you wake up feeling refreshed and ready for the day, not like you've just gone 10 rounds with your own bed sheets. Let's explore how this simple habit can restore your body's natural harmony while you rest. Modern science and ancient wisdom often arrive at the same truths, just by taking different paths. When it comes to sleep, both agree on one thing: your posture matters immensely. From a modern viewpoint, when you sleep on your side without support, your top leg naturally falls forward and down. This seemingly innocent movement creates a subtle but constant twisting force on your lower back and pelvis. Over 8 hours, this torsion pulls your spine out of its natural, neutral alignment. Your hip joints are strained, and the muscles in your lower back are forced to work all night trying to stabilize you. At the same time, your shoulders tend to collapse forward, putting a strain on your neck. It's no wonder you wake up with neck tension, lower back pain, or even a feeling of numbness from nerves being gently compressed all night. Now, let's look at this through the lens of traditional Chinese medicine. In ancient texts like the records on nurturing nature and prolonging life, great emphasis was placed on how to harmonize the body even during rest. To TCM, your spine is the main highway for your body's vital energy, or qi. This qi is the life force that nourishes your organs, warms your limbs, and keeps everything running smoothly. When your spine is twisted or compressed, it's like putting a roadblock on this energy highway. The flow of qi and blood becomes sluggish and stuck, a condition we call stagnation. Where there is stagnation, there is pain. That morning stiffness, the dull ache in your hips, the tightness in your shoulders, these are all signs that your qi and blood did not circulate freely while you slept. The body is essentially crying out for better flow. I remember a client, a lovely woman in her early 60s named Helen, who was an avid gardener. She came to me complaining of persistent lower back pain that was always worst in the morning. She felt it was ruining her love for gardening because the first hour of her day was spent just trying to feel limber enough to bend over. She had tried different mattresses and even painkillers, but the ache always returned. We talked about her sleep, and she confirmed she was a side sleeper. I suggested a very simple first step: place a firm pillow between her knees every single night. We also discussed a few dietary changes to warm her system. At first, she was skeptical that something so small could help, but within a week, she reported that the sharp, intense pain in the morning had softened to a dull ache. After a month of consistent use, she told me she could get out of bed and walk to her garden with minimal stiffness. The simple pillow had aligned her hips, taking the nightly strain off hers, and allowing her qi and blood to flow without obstruction. This is a perfect example of how a small, consistent change can lead to steady progress through consistent care. The pillow trick is wonderfully simple and effective. By placing a firm pillow between your knees, you are essentially creating a support structure that holds your body in its natural alignment. It aligns your hips. The pillow lifts your top leg, preventing it from pulling forward and twisting your pelvis. This keeps your hip joints stacked vertically, one on top of the other, which is their neutral and most relaxed position. This simple act alone takes an enormous amount of pressure off your lower back. Second, it relieves neck strain. When your hips are aligned, your shoulders are more likely to stay stacked as well, rather than collapsing forward. This reduces the torque on your cervical vertebrae, the small bones in your neck, allowing your neck, muscles to finally relax. And third, it boosts circulation. Proper alignment means that nerves and blood vessels aren't being pinched or compressed. This can significantly reduce nighttime leg cramps, tingling, or that pins and needles feeling. For the best results, try using a pillow that offers firm support, like one filled with buckwheat hulls or a solid memory foam pillow designed for knees. A fluffy, soft pillow will just compress and won't provide the structural support you need. Beyond this simple pillow trick, we can draw on deeper TCM wisdom to create a foundation of pain-free living. These strategies address the root causes of stiffness and pain, helping your body become more resilient from the inside out. First, let's talk about warming your kidneys to strengthen your lower back. In TCM, the kidneys are seen as the body's foundational energy source, like the battery pack that powers your entire system. They govern the health of your bones, especially the lower back and knees. When your kidney key is weak, which can naturally happen as we age, the lower back can feel sore, weak or cold. Think of it like a house with a weak foundation. It's the first place to show signs of strain. This is for you if you experience a dull, persistent ache in your lower back, have cold hands and feet, or need to use the bathroom frequently at night. To support your kidney energy, you can place a warm, not hot, water bottle on your lower back for 15 minutes before sleep. The gentle warmth penetrates the area, invigorating the flow of qi and blood and soothing tired muscles. Diet-wise, incorporating foods that are black in color, like black beans, black sesame seeds, and walnuts, which even look like a tiny brain, governing the marrow, which is linked to the kidneys, can help nourish this foundational energy. Second, we can soothe the liver to unwind tension. The liver in TCM is responsible for the smooth flow of qi throughout the body. It's like the body's traffic controller. When you experience stress, frustration, or unresolved anger, the liver qi can become stagnant or stuck. This is when you feel irritable, sigh a lot, and notice tension building up in your neck, shoulders, and jaw. If you're someone who holds stress in your shoulders or grinds your teeth at night, this is for you. Soothing the liver helps to release this tension, allowing your muscles to soften and relax. A simple way to do this is by drinking a gentle tea made from chrysanthemum flowers and a few goji berries in the evening. This combination helps to clear heat and tension while gently nourishing the liver. Taking 5 minutes before bed to do some slow, gentle neck stretches can help release the physical manifestation of your day's stress. Third, we must strengthen the spleen to banish dampness. The spleen in TCM is the main organ of digestion and transformation. It takes the food you eat and turns it into qi and blood. When the spleen is weak, this process becomes inefficient, leading to the formation of something we call dampness. Imagine a fog that settles in your body. It's heavy, sluggish, and sticky. This dampness can lodge in your joints, causing them to feel stiff, swollen, and achy, especially in humid or rainy weather. If you often wake up feeling groggy, heavy-limbed, or bloated, you may have some internal dampness. The key is to support your digestive fire. You can do this by avoiding late-night cold drinks and raw foods like salads, which can put out that fire. Instead, opt for warm, cooked foods. A simple cup of ginger tea in the morning can help to warm the spleen and disperse dampness. Fourth, let's focus on nourishing blood to lubricate the joints. In TCM, blood is much more than just the red fluid in your veins. It's a dense, nourishing substance that moisturizes your entire body, including your muscles, tendons, and skin. When blood is deficient, things can get dry and brittle. Your joints might feel creaky and stiff, not because of dampness, but because of a lack of proper lubrication. Think of it like a door hinge that needs oiling. This might be you if you also experience dry skin, brittle nails, light dizziness when you stand up, or floaters in your vision. To nourish blood, focus on eating dark leafy greens like spinach and kale, as well as red-colored foods like beets, reed dates, and goji berries. A small amount of high-quality, Ethically minus raised meat or bone broth can also be very beneficial. Finally, we need to unblock the meridians with gentle movements. Your energy pathways, or meridians, are like rivers that transport qi and blood throughout your body. When you sit for too long or are inactive, these rivers can become sluggish and blocked. Gentle, mindful movement is like clearing away the debris, allowing the rivers to flow freely again. This is for everyone, but especially those who have a sedentary lifestyle. You don't need a strenuous workout. Simple practices like starting your day with gentle ankle and wrist rotations before you even get out of bed can begin to stimulate flow. A short, relaxed walk after dinner also helps to keep things moving and prevents stagnation from setting in overnight. Persistence is key. These aren't quick fixes, but daily habits that build a strong, flexible, and pain-free body over time. To make these principles a part of your daily life, here are 2 simple routines you can easily incorporate. The first is a Rise and Shine Kidney Warming Tea. This is perfect for anyone who feels a bit slow to start in the morning, has a chilly constitution, or experiences that classic lower back ache. You will need a small handful of goji berries, about a teaspoon, 3 or 4 pitted red dates, and 1 thin slice of fresh ginger. Simply put all the ingredients into your favorite mug, pour boiling water over them, and let it steep for about 5 to 10 minutes. You can sip this warm in the morning instead of coffee, or in the mid-afternoon when you feel that energy slump. The goji berries and red dates gently nourish the blood and kidney energy, while the ginger adds a touch of warmth to support your digestion. However, if you are someone who generally feels hot, has a sore throat, or is experiencing any acute inflammation, it's best to skip the ginger or avoid this tea for now. A good self-check is to notice how you feel after drinking it for a week. Do you feel a bit warmer from the inside out? Is your energy a little more stable? The second routine is an end-of-day ginger foot soak. This is wonderful for improving circulation, easing lower back pain, and promoting deep, restful sleep. You will need a basin large enough for your feet, warm water to cover your ankles, 3 to 5 thick slices of fresh ginger, and an optional half-cup of Epsom salts. Simply fill the basin with warm water. Add the ginger slices and Epsom salts, and stir. Soak your feet for about 15 to 20 minutes, preferably an hour before bed. The warmth combined with the stimulating properties of ginger helps to draw energy downward, calming a busy mind. It also warms the kidney meridian, which begins on the sole of your foot, sending gentle warmth up to your lower back. This is especially helpful for those with cold feet, joint stiffness, or difficulty falling asleep. Please be cautious and make sure the water is comfortably warm, not scalding, especially if you have diabetes or reduced sensation in your feet. Also, if you have any open wounds or skin infections on your feet, you should wait until they are healed. To see if it's working for you, ask yourself after a few nights, are my feet staying warmer in bed? Do I feel like I'm falling asleep more easily? As you begin to explore these natural approaches, it's important to gently warn against a common pitfall, the one-size-fits-all mindset. In our modern world, we love quick fixes and universal solutions. We hear that a certain herb or food is a superfood and we all rush to try it. But in TCM, the most important principle is individualized care. Your body is unique, with its own history, constitution, and pattern of imbalance. What works wonders for your friend, whose stiffness comes from internal dampness, might not work for you if your stiffness stems from blood deficiency. For example, your friend might feel amazing after drinking barley tea, which is excellent for draining dampness. But if you are blood deficient, that same tea could be too drying for you and might even make your joint creak and is worse. This is why listening to your own body is so crucial. It's not about copying others, but about becoming a detective of your own health. Notice how you feel after eating certain foods or trying a new routine. Your body will always give you feedback. True healing comes from understanding and honoring your own unique needs. Remember, every small step you take towards better health is a victory. It doesn't require a complete overhaul of your life. It can start with something as simple as a $10- pillow placed between your knees tonight. It can be a 1 cup of ginger tea in the morning or a soothing foot soak at night. These are not just remedies, they are acts of kindness and attention to the body that has carried you through life. Be patient with yourself. The stiffness and aches you feel didn't appear overnight, and they will take time to gently resolve. But with consistency, you are rebuilding your body's foundation of health, one day at a time. If this reminds you of someone you care about who often mentions waking up or stiff, please share this with them. A small piece of knowledge can make a big difference in someone's daily comfort and joy. Have you ever tried this pillow trick? How did it feel for you? For a personalized tip related to your morning stiffness, comment with the word FLOW, and I'll share a simple acupressure point you can try. True health is not the absence of symptoms, but the presence of vitality. May you sleep deeply and wake with ease. Do you ever wake up in the morning and just know something isn't quite right? Before your feet even touch the floor, you might feel a slight dizziness, a dull ache in your head, or a sense of heaviness in your legs. Maybe you've just finished a bit of light gardening, something you've always enjoyed. But now your back is sore and your knees feel stiff and weak. Or perhaps it's the third time you've had to get up in the middle of the night, disrupting your precious sleep and leaving you feeling drained and foggy the next day. These aren't just random signs of getting older. They are quiet but persistent whispers from your body, telling you that its internal balance is off. For many of us over 50, these feelings are the daily backdrop to bigger worries about numbers on a medical report. Blood pressure that's creeping up, blood sugar that's a little too high, or cholesterol levels that concern our doctor. We dutifully take our pills and watch our diet. But the underlying feeling of vulnerability remains. Traditional Chinese medicine offers a profound insight here. These conditions are not separate problems to be managed, but symptoms of a single, deeper imbalance within your body's entire system. The secret to lasting wellness isn't just about controlling the numbers, it's about restoring that fundamental harmony from the inside out. The modern world often tells us that high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and high cholesterol are 3 distinct issues, each with its own set of medications. But from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, they are often 3 branches growing from the same root. This root is a fundamental disruption in your body's natural rhythm and flow. Think of your body as a peaceful, flowing river. When the river is healthy, its water is clear, it moves at a steady pace, and it nourishes everything along its banks. But when things go wrong, when there's too much heat, too much debris, or the flow becomes blocked, problems arise. In modern terms, we can see a strong connection to the autonomic nervous system. This is your body's automatic control center, managing everything from your heartbeat to your digestion without you having to think about it. When we are under constant stress, eat foods that cause inflammation, or live in a state of high alert, this system gets stuck in fight or flight mode. This constant state of emergency can cause blood vessels to constrict, raising blood pressure, and disrupt how your body processes sugar and fats. TCM has understood this for centuries, describing it as a state where the body's energy or ki is either stuck, in rebellion, or depleted. The key to turning this around is a simple yet powerful principle: the 3 lows and 1 high. It's a way to gently guide your body's river back to a state of calm, healthy flow. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. A gentleman in his early 60s, let's call him John, came to see me. He was on medication for high blood pressure and pre-diabetes. His main complaints were a constant feeling of pressure behind his eyes, a short temper he couldn't control, and waking up every morning with a bitter taste in his mouth. He loved rich, spicy foods and admitted he was a chronic worrier, always thinking about his business. In TCM terms, his pattern was one of liver stagnation turning into fire, creating internal heat and pressure. We didn't do anything drastic. We simply started applying the 3 lows and 1 high. He learned to take 5 deep breaths before answering a stressful email. He swapped his fried breakfast for a simple bowl of oatmeal. He started a 15-minute foot soak every night before bed. Over a few months, the changes were gentle but clear. He told me his temper was much calmer, the pressure behind his eyes had eased, and his sleep was deeper. His numbers at the doctor's office began to stabilize. He was making steady progress through consistent, gentle care. So, what exactly are these 3 lows and 1 high? This isn't a strict, complicated diet you'll quit after a week. It is a wise and sustainable way of living that helps your body find its own equilibrium again. The first of the 3 lows is low stress. In TCM, strong emotions, especially anger, frustration, and constant worry, are seen as major triggers for health crises. Picture a pot of water on the stove. These emotions turn the heat up to high, causing the steam, your body's energy or ki, to surge violently upwards. This upward rush is what can cause a sudden headache, dizziness, or a dangerous spike in blood pressure. Modern science shows us exactly how this happens. Stress hormones, like cortisol and adrenaline, flood your system, constricting blood vessels and telling your liver to release more sugar into your bloodstream. By consciously lowering your emotional temperature, you are turning down the heat on that pot, keeping things at a gentle, rolling boil instead of a chaotic explosion. The second low is for a diet low, in heat-inflammatory foods. TCM has long warned that for those with conditions like hypertension, it's crucial to avoid foods that create internal heat or fire. This includes excessively greasy or fried foods, spicy dishes, too much red meat, and alcohol. Think of this internal heat in a modern way: it's chronic inflammation. Sugary treats, refined carbohydrates, like white bread and pastries, and unhealthy fats are like throwing dried kindling onto a fire inside your body. This inflammation is now understood by science to be a primary driver of damage to our blood vessels, which leads to high cholesterol, and it also contributes significantly to insulin resistance, the hallmark of type 2 diabetes. Reducing these foods helps to cool and calm your system from the inside. The third low is low reactivity. This is a subtle but incredibly powerful concept. It's about managing your body's immediate, knee-jerk response to life's triggers. Imagine you get a shocking piece of news or get into a sudden argument. Your heart starts pounding, your face gets flushed, and you feel a surge of energy. TCM sees this as a rebellion of ki, where your body's energy goes haywire, causing your blood pressure to shoot up instantly. By learning to create a small pause between a trigger and your reaction, you give your nervous system a moment to catch its breath. This pause prevents the immediate switch into panic mode, allowing your body to remain much more stable and balanced, even when faced with external chaos. Finally, we have the 1 high: higher circulation and flow. This is the positive action that balances out the 3 lows. You must actively work to promote the smooth, unimpeded flow of blood and energy throughout your body. Think of it like a network of garden hoses. If the hoses are clear and the water pressure is just right, the entire garden gets nourished. But if there are kinks, blockages, or the pressure is too high, some parts wither while others get flooded. All 3 conditions, high blood pressure, sugar, and cholesterol, involve a problem with flow. Plaque builds up in arteries, blood vessels become stiff, and the delivery of nutrients and oxygen to your cells is impaired. By actively improving circulation, you help your body clear out waste, nourish your organs, and reduce the overall pressure on your system. This wisdom is only useful if you can easily bring it into your daily life. So, here is your practical plan to start putting the 3 lows and 1 high into action today, with simple steps you can take in your own home. Let's focus on achieving the 3 lows first. For low stress, the most powerful tool you have is your own breath. The next time you feel yourself getting upset, frustrated, or worried, before you say or do anything, simply stop and take 3 deep, slow breaths. Breathe in gently through your nose for a count of 4, hold it for a moment, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Making the exhale longer than the inhale is key. This simple, conscious action is like flipping a switch in your nervous system, moving it from the panicked fight or flight mode to the calm restorative rest and digest mode. Do this several times a day, especially during moments of transition, like before a difficult phone call or after reading the news. For a diet with low-heat foods, start with small, manageable swaps. The goal is not to deprive yourself but to crowd out the inflammatory foods with anti-inflammatory ones. Make a commitment to make just one positive swap each day. For example, instead of having a sweet pastry or white toast with jam for breakfast, have a warm bowl of oatmeal with a handful of antioxidant-rich berries, instead of a greasy portion of fried chicken for dinner. Try a beautiful piece of baked salmon, which is rich in anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats, or have steamed chicken with a generous side of steamed broccoli and bok choy. These small changes dramatically reduce the inflammatory load on your body, giving it a chance to heal. For low reactivity, your strategy is to create a pause button for your emotions. When you are in a conversation and you feel your heart start to race or your face get hot, that's your signal. Instead of immediately firing back with a reactive comment, use a simple phrase like, "That's an interesting point, let me think about that for a moment." Then, physically get up. Go to the kitchen and get a glass of water. Walk to the window and look outside. This brief physical and mental disengagement breaks the automatic stress cycle. It prevents the surge of ki and gives you the space to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally, which keeps your blood pressure much more stable. Now, for achieving the high better circulation. This is where TCM offers some wonderfully simple and effective daily practices. First and foremost is daily walking. You don't need a gym membership or fancy equipment. A brisk 30-minute walk each day is perhaps the best medicine there is for your entire circulatory system. It gets your heart pumping more efficiently, helps your blood vessels become more flexible, and moves your qi and blood throughout your entire body without causing excessive strain. Second, embrace the classic TCM remedy of a nightly foot soak. Soaking your feet in warm water, around 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius, for 15 to 20 minutes before you go to bed is profoundly calming. In TCM theory, this practice helps to draw excess energy and heat that has risen to your head, causing headaches, a racing mind, and high blood pressure downward to your feet. This grounds you, calms your mind, eases circulatory pressure, and is one of the best ways to prepare your body for a deep, restorative sleep. Third, try some simple acupressure you can do yourself. There is a very famous point on the top of your foot called liver third. To find it, look at the space between your big toe and your second toe. Slide your finger up that valley until you feel a depression where the bones meet. That is the spot. Using your thumb, apply gentle but firm pressure and massage this point in a circular motion for 1 to 2 minutes on each foot. This point is a master key for soothing stress, getting stuck energy moving, and is renowned for its ability to help stabilize blood pressure. It's like a release valve for your body's internal pressure system. To make these practices even easier to incorporate, here are 2 simple daily routines you can try. First is a calm the flow morning tea. This is a lovely, gentle tea to help soothe the system. All you need are a few dry chrysanthemum flowers, about 5 to 7 goji berries, and 1 or 2 small slices of dried hawthorn berry. Just put them in a mug, pour hot water over them, cover, and let them steep for about 5 minutes. Chrysanthemum is wonderful for clearing heat from the head, which helps with headaches and high blood pressure. Goji berries gently nourish the body, and hawthorn berry is famous for promoting healthy circulation and digestion. The best time to drink this is mid-morning. It's especially helpful for people who tend to be a bit irritable, have eye strain from screens, and feel that their blood pressure rises with stress. However, if you are someone who often feels cold or has loose stools, you should start with a very small amount, as these ingredients are slightly cooling in nature. A quick self-check after you drink it. Do you feel a sense of calm and clarity, or do you notice your stomach feeling a bit cool? Your body's response will tell you if it's the right fit. Second is a circulation-boosting evening foot soak. We talked about a basic foot soak, but you can enhance it. Fill a basin with comfortably warm water, enough to cover your ankles. Add about a tablespoon of Epsom salts, which are great for relaxing muscles, and 3 for thick slices of fresh ginger. Ginger is wonderfully warming and helps to stimulate circulation, pushing blood flow out to your extremities. Soak your feet for 15 to 20 minutes, ideally about an hour before bed. This is beneficial for almost everyone, especially if you have high blood pressure, cold hands and feet, or difficulty falling asleep. A small word of caution: if you have diabetes or any open sores on your feet, please check with your doctor first. And always be careful that the water is warm, not scalding. After your soak, pat your feet dry and put on some warm socks. The self-check here is simple. Do your feet feel warm and tingly? Does your mind feel quiet and ready for sleep? That's the feeling you're looking for. As you begin to explore these methods, it's very important to avoid a common mistake. In our communities, when someone finds something that works for them, they are often eager to share it. But what works for your neighbor might not be right for you. TCM is built on the principle of individualized care. Your neighbor might have high blood pressure because of what we call internal heat, so cooling herbs and foods are perfect for them. But you might have high blood pressure because your body's battery, your kidney energy, is weak and unable to anchor your ki. If you were to take your neighbor's cooling herbs, you might end up feeling even more tired and depleted. This is why simply copying what others are doing can lead to frustration and poor results. Your body has its own unique story and its own specific needs. The goal is to listen to it carefully. You have so much more power over your long-term health than you may have been led to believe. The 3 lows and 1 high is not a magic cure, but a powerful, natural, and time-tested strategy that works alongside your medical treatments to build a stronger, more resilient foundation from within. Please, always remember that this advice is meant to complement your doctor's plan, not replace it. Never stop or change your prescribed medication without first consulting your physician. Use these natural methods to strengthen your body's own healing abilities, so that, over time and in partnership with your doctor, you may find that you need less medical intervention. This isn't just another health article, it's a practical guide to reclaiming a sense of control over your well-being. Did you find this information helpful? Please share it with your spouse, your friends, or the people in your community group. Someone you know is likely worrying about their numbers right now. And this simple, wise approach could give them the hope and the clear plan they've been searching for. Have you experienced that feeling of being overwhelmed by your health concerns? Comment with the word balance, and I will suggest a simple starting point for you. Let's support each other on this journey. Every small step you take towards better health is a victory worth celebrating. Your health is your greatest wealth. Tend to it.